question to George Stephanopoulos of ABC about this governor, one of your rivals, and you answered it in this way. I'm not as troubled by a person who has a different faith. I'm troubled by a person who tells me their faith doesn't influence their decisions. That's in direct response to George Stephanopoulos on February 11th of this year. Why are you changing that point of view now?
Well, I didn't know I was changing the point of view.
No,
I'm
you're
saying
changing
that of
your
anyone,
quote.
whether it's Governor Romney or Governor Gilmore.
But you answered in direct response to the Governor Romney in this Mormonism. Why are you pulling back now?
I don't need to be pulling back. I want to state very clearly, a person's faith shouldn't qualify or disqualify for public office. It shouldn't do that. But we ought to be honest and open about it, and I think it does help explain who we are, what our value systems are, what makes us tick, and what our processors are.
Governor Romney, do you accept the fact that he wasn't talking about you?
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it on George Stephanopoulos, but I can tell you this. Of course, everyone who's a person of faith has values that are deeply held in their heart. And they include the value of the relationship they have with their spouse and their children, the value that they place with their country and with their community. That's what makes America such a powerful land. Look at us. We're a land it's the envy of the entire world. We are the hope of the world, not because of our wealth, but because of our hearts. And that comes from being a people of faith, but not people of a particular church or a particular synagogue. Rather, the great values we share are American values.
Senator?
Chris, this is a key point, I think, and I think it's a key point for the country because we've had 40 or 50 years now of trying to run faith out of the public square. And we're a nation of faith, as my colleague Senator Lieberman, a Jew, says. America's a faith-based experiment as a country. We should celebrate and invite faith. And our motto is, in God we trust. This isn't something that divides. This is something that pulls together and lifts us up. And it's key and it's important. We shouldn't be trying to run it out of the public square. We should invite it in and celebrate it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Senator. John.
Gentlemen, let's talk a little bit about the future of your party. Congressman Hunter, Governor Schwarzenegger, who's here tonight, has won the state twice by downplaying partisanship and taking centrist positions on the environment, immigration, abortion. Is that the way to win for Republicans?
You know, it's a way to win. We need to win the right way. And you know, about 100 miles south of here is in my town of San Diego, we built the border fence. When we built that fence, we had a border out of control. And we built that fence, and it's a double fence. It's not that little scraggly fence you see on CNN with everybody getting over it. We had massive murders on the border, massive illegal immigration, massive importation of drugs. I built that border fence. We brought down the smuggling of people and narcotics by more than 90%. I think, and there's an implication in your immigration statement, that the Hispanic community of California wants to have a secure border. And I wrote that law that extends the San Diego fence for 854 miles across Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas that the president signed in October. One way to bring down crime in the state of California and every state in the union is to have an enforceable border. That means let's build that border fence. When people want to come into this country, let's ask them to knock on the front door.
Governor Gilmore, you know Karl Rove, and you've worked with Karl Rove. And is Karl Rove your friend? Do you want to keep him in the White House if you get elected president, the president's chief political operative?
You know, at the end of the day, the responsibility for this government and for its policies rests with the President of the United States. And the President is able to choose the people that he wants to choose in order to implement his policy. The President has chosen Karl Rove.
But you, as Commander-in-Chief and Chief Executives, would you employ Karl Rove?
It isn't a matter of Karl Rove. What's important to this nation is not Karl Rove. What's important to this nation and to this party is the acquisition of the philosophy and values that we are as Republicans. There is a time now for us to reach out and to say that we're spending too much money in government, that it's taking too much of the resources of this nation, that we have got to do something about government spending, create more jobs and a higher revenue and a better opportunity, and thereby to cut taxes for regular people. I did that as governor. I'm a consistent conservative that keeps his word and does what he says that he's going to do.
Thank you, Governor.